All right, so we've started screen sharing and we've started recording. Let's get down to business. Now, we solved these examples, but it's a good idea, or it's good to practice more. We will do it again. So the question states that write a program that defines an array of size 3 by 3. And remember, this array, we called it square array. Why square? Because just like a square, the height and the width are the same. So here also the value of I, or the number of rows, is equal to the number of columns. And print the sum of the diagonal. And we said, let's imagine that we have this one, 0, 1, and 2. We don't have 3. Here also we have 0, 1, and 2. That's why it's 3 by 3. All right. So if you remember, we said this is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, and 2, 2. Always we start with rows. Okay, even here, when I say 3 by 3, maybe if I say 3 by 2, that means 3 rows and 2 columns. Remember, always we start with rows come first. Okay, and we say usually I use I counter to go through the rows, and J. Why I and J? There's no reason, but it's a tradition. Okay, you can use any other names or any other naming you feel or you want. All right, so this is the basic idea. Now, if you remember, we talked about the square matrix and we said we have diagonal. This is the diagonal. And the condition of diagonal is I equals J. And there's an element above the diagonal where J is greater than I. And we have elements below the diagonal. These are the elements below diagonal. All right, where I is greater than J. So according to this, if you get, for example, here, the sum of the diagonal, that means I'm going to find the sum of the diagonal where I'll put the condition if I equals J, then add the element to the sum. And this is what we did here. We defined an array 3 by 3, and as I told you, we write it like this, just to make it very much similar to the regular array in mathematics, like 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, and here 5, 6, 7. In mathematics, you used to write to write the array, and you used to call it matrix. Okay, so here what I want is to find this 1 plus 4 plus 7. So if I equal J, so after defining this, of course, before here I need 2 loops. All right, and as I told you, the first loop open, the last one closed. So for integer I equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, and for integer J, for every value of I, it will take all the values of J, right? So if I is equal 0, then J will take 0, 1, 2. When I is equal to 1, then J will take 0, 1, 2 again, and so on. In every iteration, I will add the value of I of ij to the sum if I is equal to J. Now, if I change the question and say the value or the sum of the elements above the diagonal, what will you do? Above the diagonal means, remember, J is greater than I. Then here I will change if J greater than I, then sum plus equals A of ij. All right. Below, then you change this condition only. I can manipulate. I can change the question in different ways, like the maximum of the array or the minimum of the array. Good idea. Remind me to give you an example about the maximum and the minimum. All right. Now this also the question. Sorry. This question we solved it, right? And we said now we need to define two arrays and find the sum, add the sum in a third array. And we say this is A and this is B, and C will take A of ij plus B of ij and store it in C of ij. So this is what we got. And here is the answer. A of 3, 3 equals, I gave values, and B of 3, 3 equals this. Then integer C of 3, 3 equals 0. I have to declare it because I cannot use it unless I declare it. This is C++. Will never allow you to use any variable unless you declare it, not like Python or some other programming languages. For integer I equals 0, I less than 3, the same counters, but here all what we did is this. C of ij equal A of ij plus B of ij. All right. Then we'll print it and to see the result. Okay. Here we added this part, the printing. I want to print the result like this. Okay. Just like a matrix. So that's why I added C out end line at the end. And we took some variation about this. So this is what before it's a good idea. Now let's take another example like the maximum and minimum. All right. So what I'll do here is to give you an example or to develop a design example. Write a program that finds the maximum and minimum of an array with 5 elements. Okay. Now, also to make it more general, I want to read the array. Okay. That reads an array with 5 elements and finds the maximum and the minimum. All right, this is the way the example or the questions may be designed in the exam. All right, so let's think about this. Here, by the way, you need to use the same loop multiple times. What I'll do here, first I will read the array. Okay, so let's think about it like this. Read the array. And by the way, it's one-dimensional. Why one-dimensional? Because the number of elements here is 5. All right. Then find the maximum. And then find the minimum. All right. You can't do these two things at the same loop, but it's all right now because we are still beginners. We can use separate loops. All right. Now, in the maximum, suppose that I have this array 2, 4, 7, 5, 3. How to find the maximum? You know, the best way to do this, and it works all the time. First of all, you need to take one of the elements and consider it as maximum. I'll consider maximum equals the first element, 2. All right. Now I'll take the second one. If A of I greater than maximum, then it will be the maximum. Then maximum equals A of I. Now see, and of course I will go and check all the elements. So now maximum is equal to 2 here, right? Maximum, I start with 2. Then I'll come here and find 4. Here, A of 1. If A of 1 greater than max, is 4 greater than 2? True. Then what I'll do, maximum will be A of, then I'll remove the old one, I'll put 4 and keep 4. Then I'll come to the next one. Is 7 greater than 4? Yes. So I'll remove 4 and put 7 instead. I'll come to the next one. 5. Is 5 greater than 7? No, I'll keep 7. Then I'll come to the next one. 3. Is 3 greater than 7? No, then I'll keep 7, and this is the maximum. The minimum exactly is the opposite. Only I'll change this greater than to be less than. All right, so let's start writing the code. Okay. Can you see it, or do you want to increase? Yeah, this is okay. All right, so I remove this part. Have integer A of, in the question, how many elements? 5. That's it. I will not initialize it, or I will not give it any value. Now for integer I equals 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. What I'll do here, out enter the element number I plus 1. Why I plus 1? Or let's keep it I. Okay. Yeah. What I will read A of I. So if I starts from 0, then first I will read A of 0, then I will read A of 1, A of 2 until A of 4, and I stop. That's it. This is the reading. Okay. Next, integer, and no need for we want to find the maximum, right? Integer max equals A of 0. Right? I'll take A of 0 as the maximum. Now again for equal here if you know, I don't want you to get confused. That's why I'll add these braces. All right. If A of I greater than maximum, what will happen? Max equals A of I. Max, not max. Done. I will run this program, and after that we will do the minimum. See out maximum number is X. Let's run it and see. All right, so here element number 0, we didn't leave space, so it's okay. I'll enter 3, 5. No, I know. Let me just stop execution. I don't want you to get confused here also. I'll put this one. All right, so okay, so enter element number 1. I'll enter 3. Number 1, 4, 5, 7, 2. So the maximum number is 7, if you can see here. Okay, why is that? Because initially it took 3 as the maximum, then found that 4 is greater, then it kept 4 and 5 and then 7, then 2 is less than, and it was ignored. Now the same thing can be done here. I will do it like this. But here I will define minimum. Okay, if less than minimum, then minimum equals a of I. See, you can do whatever now with the array, since you already are saving it in the memory. So the minimum number is here, not maximum, minimum. All right. All right, again, 7, 8, 5, 3, and give me a number, 8 again. All right, so the maximum number is 8, the minimum number is 3, which is correct. Okay, so this is the program. I'll share it with you now. And we can do whatever we want now with the array. Let me just first share it with you. Okay, like find the sum of the elements of the array. This is something extra. Okay. Put it like this. Find sum of the elements of the array. All what you will do is to do the same thing. Just take everything here, copy them, and modify it. Okay, now I need to declare sum, correct? Sum equals 0. Okay, without any if condition, sum plus equals a of I. Right, then the sum is sum. All right, let's run it. Okay, so I'll enter the numbers. 9, 8, 5, 10, 78. No, not that much. All right, so here the maximum number is 10, which is correct. The minimum is 5, all right, and the sum is 39. Now you can do whatever you want. By the way, just to, it's not that important, but here, since I took max A of 0, I can start the counter from 1. Why? Because A of 0 already taken. But for me, I don't want to add more confusion to the program, so it's okay. But if you write it here, 1 is correct. Okay. What else? Whatever you want to do now, you can do it here in this program. All right. one more thing is we are talking about passing argument to a function. Passing, this is the second part, passing an array as a parameter of a function. Now, in this problem, there's a problem here. You cannot only pass the, here, I told you before, you should pass the array, the number of elements is none. It means I cannot pass an array just like passing the array and wait for the function to understand how many elements it has or something like this. No. Let's try some or a simple example. We don't need this anymore. Okay. Let's write the example here. Write a program that takes an array with 4 elements and returns the sum of the elements. Okay, now if you can see, I'll pass an array and I will receive the sum. So I'll do here integer of integer a of 4. You cannot keep it blank now. This can be done when we will talk about pointers. All right. So here I'll define sum s equals 0. You'll do the same code that we've already done for integer I equals 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Okay, s plus equal of I. Here not less than 4, because 4 elements. Okay, from 0 to elements. That's it. And return s. Okay. Now here in the main function, if I want to call the function, I'll define integer x of equals 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and I can define integer s1 equals, I should call the function here sum of x. Here you pass the name of the array. You don't need to pass the array in details. All right. So if you can see here, of course here you can write 4, but you can skip it because it's declared. Here also integer a of 4. That means the function will not accept elements less than 4 or more than 4. And again here s plus equal, of course this is the process, and return s. So let's see, let's print it. See out is s1. Okay, so here I got the sum is 10. So what the program did is pass this array by name, I called only by name, to this function, and the function calculated the sum and returned the result. Okay, This is all for today. I will just share the code with you. Okay. All right. Now get ready for the simple quiz. Still, we have the pointers we'll discuss in the next lecture and the standard libraries. Okay. Any questions? Very well. So in 1 minute, the quiz will start. Okay. Let's see the activities. All right. So we are waiting for. Yeah, it's already scheduled. This still you didn't get it. Okay. So get ready. And please, again, I'll stop recording. No need to record the exam to avoid any long recordings.